Hello viewers, welcome to the GCE Math panel. Our lesson of today is on compound interest. This lesson falls under the chapter processes. We start by defining the concept of compound interest, and compound interest is the interest that depends on the principal as well as on the previous interest. For short, it is an interest that yields interest. And the formula for compound interest is given by the interest of period 1 plus the interest of period 2 up to the period n. The amount of the end of the n periods is given by amount equals principal or the capital or the investment plus the compound interest. Alternatively, this formula can be used to obtain the amount, especially when we have a longer period. Amount equals principal bracket open 1 plus the rate, all that to the power n. Let's take some examples. Calculate the compound interest and the amount on 10,000 francs for 3 years at 10% per year. So for compound interest, we go year by year. At the beginning of the first year, the principal P1 is 10,000. The rate remains constant, so the rate is 10%, and we are working with each year. That means we work year by year, so the year is always 1 year. Our interest for year 1, that's at the end of the year, is given by the principal of year 1 times the rate times the time. And this gives us 10,000 times 0.1 times 1, which is equal to 1,000 francs at the end of year 1. Now for year 2, the principal of year 2 is given by the principal of year 1 plus the interest of year 1. That gives us 10,000 plus 1,000, which equals 11,000. Therefore, our interest for year 2 is given by P2 times rate times time, which is 11,000 times 0.1 times 1, giving us 1,100 francs. The third year, since they said for 3 years, at the beginning of the third year, the principal is the principal of year 2 plus the interest of year 2, and that gives us 12,100 francs. And therefore, at the end of year 3, the interest I3 will be equal to P3 times rate times time, giving us a value of 12,010 francs. Therefore, our compound interest for these 3 years will be equal to the interest of year 1 plus the interest of year 2 plus the interest of year 3, which is equal to 3,310 francs FCFA. The next thing is to calculate the amount, and the amount is given by the principal plus the compound interest, and that gives us a total of 13,310 francs. We can equally do this problem using method 2 as follows. That's using the second formula which I indicated before, and here the compound interest can be obtained from that formula, amount minus principal. Let's start by getting the amount from that formula. The amount equals principal into bracket open, that is 1 plus rate, or that's the power n, and that gives us 10,000 into 1 plus 0.1 to the power 3, which equals 13,010 francs. And from here, the compound interest is the amount minus the principal, which is 13,010 francs minus 10,000, giving us 3,010 francs. Like I said, this formula is good, especially when we have longer periods. Then, to calculate the amount, since this equation has to be marked, it would be good if you just copy this particular section and put back on the paper. That gives us the amount 13,010 FCFE. Example 2. An amount of 5,000 euros is deposited in a bank at a compound interest rate of 5% for 2 years. Find the compound interest and the total amount at the end of the period. So for year 1, our P1 is 5,000, the rate is 5%, and T is 1 year. I1 is P1 times rate times time, giving us 250 francs. Then, or euros rather, then P2 is 5,000. As to begin the second year, we need this 5,000 plus this interest of year 1, giving us 5,250, and I2 will be principal times rate times time, which equals 262.5 FCFA. Therefore, compound interest is equal to 512.5 francs, and the amount at the end of the period is this principal at the beginning plus the compound interest, giving us 5,512.5 francs. Or we can use the formula and we'll have the same thing for the amount, 5,512.5 francs. The next example calculates the compound interest and amount on $20,000 for 4 years at 2% per year. So when the period is longer, it's better to use the direct formula. Here I'm applying the formula directly, and that is going to give me $21,648.64. And the compound interest is amount minus principal, giving me $21,648.64 minus 20,000, which equals 1,648.64 FCFA. The last example, don't forget to subscribe. Find the compound interest and amount on 10,000 francs at 1% per month for 3 years. Be very careful with this question. This question says the rate is per month, but the period is in 3 years. Since the rate is per month, we are going to convert everything here to months. So 3 years is equal to 36 months, and I'm going to use this in the formula. Since we have longer periods, that will give me 10,000 into 1 plus 0.01 to the power 36, and that gives us 14,007.687 francs. Therefore, the compound interest is amount minus principal, and that gives us 4,307.687 francs. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe. Our next lesson is on profit and loss in business, part 1. Stay tuned, and don't forget to join our online school, which is for free. Bye bye.